I don't either, man.
Four Star Nation is live from SideCar Cafe. I'm here with Nathan Wilson. Man, we've got a lot to talk about. Um, First of all, thanks for listening to the Brady White interview just then before us. That was a great interview with Brandon, Nathan, Wes. Uh, just picking Brady's brain a little bit. I mean, that was awesome to watch. Um, but we got a lot of things to talk about. Specifically, we'll just start with this one. I mean, how can we not? We're starting with Arkansas, Texas.
Yeah, buddy.
What a showdown that was. I mean, if you're an Arkansas fan, that is. There was so much hype in that game. It lived up to the expectation fan wise. Arkansas showed out. A lot of people didn't expect that, and I'm myself included, Zach included. But this man right here, he had a different projection, and
Wait a minute. Where's Brandon? I need to have a word.
Brandon is
I
in the
need to
house.
have a word with
He's gonna have to get
Brandon.
on- He's going to have to, kind of explain his thought process on why.
I want to have a talk with Brandon right now.
I mean, he's not going to give Arkansas too much credit.
Is this mic work?
He's not going to give us too much credit.
Is this mic work?
Yes.
Can you hear me,
You
Zach?
were wrong.
Zach, I'm so sorry that I picked the Texas Longhorns.
No, not just picked them, but by 50.
Hey, Wes picked them by 40. I just want one over.
I just want you to know that you were the official idiot of the week on this episode of Inside the Hog Pen.
Hey, well, you know what? I'm official idiot of the week on Inside
Yes.
the Hall Team.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hogs.
Yeah. Oh.
Do
I
I?
mean, we could get a hall call going in here.
Here we go.
Do I
We are-
have to, do
we're
I
in
have to
Memphis.
do a hall call since I'm idiot of the week?
We're in Memphis, Tennessee right now, by the way, guys, at SideCar Cafe.
It don't matter. It don't matter. The Hogs are running miles away from the East Coast.
Zach, Razorback Nation, I apologize for picking Texas to win by 50.
Yes.
That should not have happened. Arkansas is going to win the SEC this year.
Okay.
Wait a minute now.
This is Brent. Is this
Y'all need to get the.
okay?
Yeah, you get a little too high.
I'm a realist, but Brandon, you just rose in my eyes just then. I did not expect that from you.
I didn't either, but hey, I'll take it.
Arkansas is going to finish in last place in the SEC West.
I knew he'd say it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about last. I mean, we've seen some SEC teams get kind of exposed this year.
That was
Mississippi State, they didn't impress me. I mean, they had a pretty good win against NC State, but not a lot. But here's the thing. Mississippi State's got to travel to Memphis next weekend. But no, we still got a lot to talk about Arkansas, Tennessee. We still got a lot to talk about.
way too much.
Zach was there. I want to know the firsthand experience of that game.
Let me tell you something, guys. And if y'all can't tell from the fact I don't have a voice, that ought to tell you everything you ought to know. Let me tell you something. There is nothing like 80,000 fans screaming, 80,000 fans calling the Hogs. It was the most electrifying atmosphere I have ever been in inside of Razorback Stadium.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, it doesn't matter who's to your right. It doesn't matter who's to your left, in front of you, behind you. Because when you're in that stadium, everybody is a Razorback fan. We were high-fiving and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you now, the TV broadcast didn't do it justice at all.
I mean, the fans were great. The state of Arkansas needed that game. They needed that win. And how about a welcome to the SEC? You know,
Right.
Sure, it's a little bit down the road, but you got to
Right.
think Texas.
Well, but this was a big statement because I think Texas is the only one that plays an SEC school this year out of Texas and OU.
Right.
So this was a hey, this is what you're getting into. I don't think you're ready for it. It's not like you can go to Kansas or Lawrence, Kansas, or you can go to Abilene, go to Baylor when they don't have RG3. They said it last night. This is not the Big 12. This is the kind of atmosphere that you're going to walk into week in and week out when you come into the SEC.
But yeah, go ahead.
But Zach, let me tell you something right here about this game. I'll speak to both of y'all. Arkansas proved in this game that this goes out to Texas, this goes out to Oklahoma. You come into the SEC, this just proved it. You're not ready for the SEC.
No.
We have defense, we have offense, we've got coaches that are just spot on.
Well, and it
that's
helps.
what I told
Nathan,
y'all.
it helps
I told
too.
y'all, stay-
It helps too when you've got some of the great coordinators that we've got. Now, special teams has always been an issue, but you actually see it that we actually have a kicker now. Yeah, we had the one muff punt there towards the beginning, but he stepped out of bounds. But I mean, the improvement that you saw from week 1 to week 2 was a complete difference. KJ looked like a completely different quarterback.
Yep.
He was settled in. He knew what he was doing. We had a stable of running backs. We got 4 running backs now, y'all. We have a freaking stable of running backs, none of which even smelled 100 yards, and yet somehow we still managed 330 yards on the ground.
We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I got a lot of hope.
The defense played very well. KJ, I think when KJ runs the ball well, he becomes a better passer.
Yeah.
No, he didn't light it up on the stat sheet, but he did what he had to do. Now, Zach, I want to know your thoughts on that, but also how big of a factor do you think the crowd was last night as far as Texas goes?
Hands down, dude. I mean, multiple times I couldn't even hear my buddy standing right next to me, and he was 6 inches from my ear trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
The roar, and like I said, the TV broadcast did not do justice when it came to the sound of that stadium. It was so loud that they had gotten delay of games and false starts because they can't hear. And you get down there in front of the student section, you get down there in front of the home crowd, down towards the south end zone, you can't hear anything, nothing.
Yeah. And you
So
can tell
the
you were doing some of the yelling too last night. I can tell that. You kind of lost your voice a little bit, so you were definitely doing
it's gone. Like, I don't know. It's a miracle I'm actually pulling this show off today. So, but no, the crowd, to answer your question, the crowd played a huge factor in last night's win. And dude, I kid you not. When I tell you that they were packing these people into this stadium, I've got a video. They're lining the top of the stadium where only the equipment goes, and they're packed in this stairwell. There was no room in Razorback Stadium last night. That is how big this game was.
Yeah, and you can easily be 3-0 if you win next week. You cannot let the Texas week game beat you next week.
Well, and I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think Grant Morgan's got a arm injury, but I don't think it's bad. And listen, I heard it on the post-game show last night. If you need Grant Morgan to beat Georgia Southern, we got issues.
Yeah, exactly. We should, Nathan. Now, obviously, you watched the game, correct?
That's correct.
What impressed you the most out of Arkansas?
I mean, look, first off, it goes to Sam Pittman. He was ready. He had a plan for this game. All right. He come in here and he knew exactly what to do to beat this Texas, to beat Steve Sarkisian's Texas Longhorns. But KJ Jefferson, let's go. I want to go with him first. Game 1, a little shaky. Didn't really show a lot. Steve Sarkisian, Texas. I'm gonna say he looked a lot. KJ Jefferson. He made big plays when he needed to.
For sure, dude.
So, he played a big thing, but let's just stop it and go with the Arkansas defense.
Yeah.
That is what.
Okay, Brandon.
That is what the Arkansas defense really.
Hey, tell Brandon when he joins a big boy conference, he can come talk to us.
Hey, Brandon. Apparently, Zach said when y'all join the big boy conference, you can come talk.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And that's not the Big 12.
Here we go.
The Big 12 is not a big boy conference.
Let's go right here.
It's the SEC.
I need to be on camera for this.
All right.
I knew he was coming. That's why I said it.
Listen, Hogs fans.
We're on
Memphis,
cloud
yeah,
nine.
you're on cloud 9, but Memphis has the 11th best winning percentage in the NCAA since 2014. So once you get on a winning level and you make a bowl game, come holler at me. All right, Zach, I love you.
I love it. I love you, B. I love you,
Now,
buddy.
As a Razorback fan, what yesterday showed me. Okay. Well, yesterday showed me personally was there's not a team out there besides Alabama that we can't, and maybe Georgia. Their defense is nasty, but there's not a team out there that we can't compete with at least.
Oh no! And here's the thing, Christian. Here's the cool part about it is you're finally getting to see all the defensive and offensive lines that we've wanted to see for years, that we've heard about, that we saw when Pittman was the offensive line coach here at Arkansas under Bielema, 14 and 15. Okay, so you're now seeing that they're creating a stable pocket. They're creating the ability to open up holes for the running game. That is huge, huge, because you got guys like AJ Green, Rocket Sanders, Traylon Smith.
The running backs are impressive.
Yeah, and you're opening up the opportunity to run the ball, and that's what you saw it last night. The defensive line. Let's go to the defense. We're talking about the defense. That was the biggest question going into this year was the defense. How's that defensive line going to look? Because they couldn't hold back anybody last year.
Ridgeway, man, that dude's a beast.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. If anything, he is probably going to be my player of the game on defense right now.
Ridgeway, yeah.
Now here's the cool part. Everybody knows Bumper Pool was out for the first half yesterday.
Yeah.
What the TVs did not show you was this man walking up and down the sideline, talking to the defense. He was literally chomping at the bit to get into this game. And the minute he came in, the instant impact that he had.
Yep.
As soon as Grant Morgan went down, Bumper Pool stepped up and said, all right, let's get on my back. Let's go.
It couldn't have happened any better.
No, and again, I'm not saying that Grant, the injury to Grant Morgan is nothing to blow off or anything, because we need Grant Morgan just as much as we need Bumper Pool and that entire team.
How about Hayden Henry?
Yes.
Boy,
I think Pittman referred to him as Bobby Boucher in the postgame.
yes.
And then you got, let's give a little love to our kicking game. No, there were some couple short kicks, but for the most part, you can't say much about the special teams like we have in the past. Our special team looked much improved last night, other than that one fumble that luckily didn't hurt us.
No, it didn't hurt us, but we'd like to have that one back. The other thing, too, is it helps when you have a kicker that can kick it into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But what was for the Texas Longhorns, the running back Robinson? What was his yardage?
Oh, he was bottled up. Most of
Give me 2 seconds. I'll be able to pull it up.
Let me know what his yardage was.
I know he had a touchdown, but I don't think he had over 100 yards.
No, I don't think.
No,
so.
I don't even think he got close.
But that's what I'm saying. That goes back to Sam Pittman.
He was 19. 19 carries for only 69 yards and a touchdown. By the end of the first quarter,
19 carries.
Look,
the end of the first quarter, the total yardage for Texas was 5 yards.
Yeah. Well, look, I just want to say this. that goes back to Sam Pittman. He knew the weapon that Texas had. And I told y'all, if he shuts down Robertson, he's got it. Arkansas's got this game.
No, and two, our linebackers on our defense was causing all kinds of problems for the pocket as well. So when you break the pocket down, they had a dual threat quarterback that we had trouble tackling. But the thing is when we made that tackle, they put them in. They killed themselves with penalties.
Yeah. But Zach,
what could have been a 3rd and 2 ended up being a 3rd and 15.
Did you go by yourself? Did you tailgate? What happened?
I did not tailgate this time. I'm probably going to end up tailgating next week for Georgia Southern. But I've got to give a shout out to Harris Made Chef Services, James Harris over there, for sponsoring me going to all the home games this year. Great, fantastic duties there for all of our catering needs. He will be catering the UAPB game for all of us at 4 Star Sports Media.
Nathan, do you have anything about other games around the country that you'd like?
Yeah, yeah. Let's get into a couple of these upsets, guys. I mean, for one,
We'll go back to Arkansas, Texas. Don't worry.
we will go back to the Arkansas, Texas, but I want to start out with this. We got one big upset was Oregon coming in to Ohio State and beating Ohio State the way they did. That was
Well,
that was
Wes,
impressive.
what impresses me though, Nate, is if you remember, Ohio State was supposed to go to Eugene last year.
Yeah.
Okay, they were supposed to go to Eugene, but that game got canceled due to COVID. So now you've got Oregon playing with a little chip on their shoulder, going, "All right, y'all want to cancel on us? We're going to come into the horseshoe and beat the crap out of you." And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. You know,
Tennessee
obviously
and Pitt surprised me, but the one game on our schedule that I really paid close attention to was that A&M Colorado game.
That was
And there's a development on there. I think their starting quarterback got injured. He's out for the year.
Their starting quarterback is out, which is why they struggled so bad. But again, we didn't know the identity of this A&M team.
No. We
All right,
still don't.
going into the season, we didn't know the identity of the A&M team. Losing their starting quarterback is going to hurt them, but it's going to help us when we go to Dallas in 2 weeks.
the thing is. I want to go back on and also mention this: the Florida State Jacksonville State game. All that had to
That
happen.
was rather surprising.
I mean, you had no time on the clock.
Yeah, Hail Mary. It wasn't a Hail Mary.
It wasn't really a Hail Mary, but the fact that you had one wide receiver to
Yeah.
stop. You had,
Tackling.
you had two DBs to stop him, and you didn't. You could. I mean,
Yeah.
one juke move, and he's in the end zone. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, that can't happen.
Well, and
Let's not forget, Arkansas fans, we were there 2 years ago. Zach, as an Arkansas fan, how does it feel to know how far we've come in so little time? Granted, we're 2-0. We haven't. I mean, we're not. We still got a lot to prove. We may finish 6-6 still, but as of right now, we're sitting at 2-0. How are you feeling about this team? And you know, obviously, the Chad Morris years. You know, how far
well, look, Chris, I'm gonna tell you this. I've sat through the end of the Houston Nutt era. I sat through the John L. Smith years. I sat through Brett Bielema, and I sat through Chad Morris. I was actually at a few of those games during the Chad Morris era, and you could just the fans were there, but they were there just because they could say they were there. You didn't feel the energy, you didn't feel the passion. It was just, hey, let's go do a Razorback game on Saturday.
Yeah, we have nothing else to do. So
Last night, you could tell when you walked into the Gardens there at Fayetteville, right before you hit Bud Walton Arena, you got the Gardens, right? Just past that, along the entire road leading up to the stadium, you could see tents. They were partying, they were having fun, they were laughing. Then you walk into the stadium. I mean, even at the Hog Walk for the first time ever, there was no standing room only, which, by the way, I'd like to just say on a personal note, I got to hang out and shake hands with Stephen Jones, son of Jerry Jones and father to John Stephen Jones.
Wow.
That is cool
That
as a
is-
Razorback fan and as a Cowboy fan too. But no, you could feel the energy when you walk through the tailgate area in Hogtown and all of that. Most of the things that you saw in the morning, I saw a lot of things on social media, and I know I'm bouncing around, but during SEC Nation, I saw a lot of comments on social media that, you know, first time in forever that we're garnering national attention, and that's the best crowd you could come up with. Let me tell you something, fellas. Let me tell you something right now. That little crowd, that was nothing compared to what we walked into when we got there at about noon yesterday. There were thousands upon thousands of people there. Okay, to the point they had to alter the way the Hog Walk was. There were so many people.
I believe it. Now the fans rushed the field. Obviously,
That was great. Oh my, that was awesome.
$1,000 is nothing. It's U of A. It's U of A, man.
So
It's Jerry Jones.
Hold on.
$1,000 is nothing.
let me back up a little bit before the game. I don't want to rush the ending here because that's so sweet to find out. So when you walk into the stadium, for those of you that have never been to a packed out Razorback stadium, it is a completely different atmosphere than anything you've ever experienced. James Harris had his 16-year-old son with him. First collegiate football game ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And I
Did
was
you
trying
run
to.
field?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I thought about it, but I did not. I thought about it.
Seeing Zach rush the field, though, that would be.
But as you can tell, I did a lot of screaming, though.
Yeah.
But as the stadium filled up, and you hear that first hog call during pregame, and look, dude, I'm getting chills on my arms just thinking about it again. The echo, the ferocity, the passion, just 80,000 screaming fans, one voice as loud as they could. But hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, Christian, the 4 most dangerous words in collegiate athletics yesterday: "Go Hogs, beat Texas."
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's exactly what they did. By the way, we're in Memphis, Tennessee right now at SideCar Cafe.
I wish I could come hang out with you guys, but I'm here from the Hog Pen here in Central Arkansas.
Yeah.
I'm inside the Lost Pizza Company studios.
I do want to give Memphis a little love. We went to the Memphis Arkansas State game, and that was a fun game.
How was that?
Me and Wes got to actually cover it. We were in the press box all night long at Arkansas State University.
I bet that was a great experience.
The
dude.
atmosphere, I mean, that was a pretty good atmosphere. But the press box was top notch. The people were nice.
How far is Memphis from A-State?
How far what?
How far is Memphis from A-State? Isn't it only a couple
Memphis
of hours?
is only about an hour and 20 minutes, I believe.
Oh, really? I didn't think it was that close. Holy
Maybe
cow.
not even, yeah. It's not bad at all. But that was an exciting game, and it was a fun atmosphere. We actually got to tailgate a little bit.
You know,
But I'm sure
going back to that Arkansas game, Christian, the crowd was electric. But thank goodness it's an open-air stadium, because when we hit that first touchdown and went up 10-0 on Texas, the roof would have come off the damn thing. It got so loud, you couldn't even hear the PA announcer at all. The more points we put up, and I get it, we don't want to. We weren't expected to have a shutout,
Wes?
but going in 16-0 at halftime against the 15th ranked team in the country, after the 2 years we went through, after the rebuild we went through last year, this is a completely different team.
Yes, I totally agree. I mean, I can't explain the feeling. I felt it last night, and I wasn't even at the game. The feeling of, I'm not going to say pride, because I felt pride last year, but the pride, we just felt, it was just a feeling of, okay, we proved we may belong again. Not in the SEC, obviously, because we haven't played an SEC team. But as far as a national team, we're not a laughing stock.
No, and we're not where we want to be, but we're definitely not where we were.
Oh, we have so much to work on, for sure.
The biggest thing,
the typical Arkansas thing to do would be lose next week to Georgia Southern. But
yeah, and I think Pittman, and I'm going to take a page out of Alabama's book. Sorry, Nate, but I'm going to. I think Sam Pittman is taking a Nick Saban approach where you have to be awake for every game. You have to be there for every game.
Yeah.
And I think that's the approach that Sam Pittman is taking with Arkansas.
Yeah, I want to give credit to Sam Pittman. I think he's got them where they need to be mentally.
Oh, absolutely.
I was just saying, as an Arkansas fan, you're always skeptical of a letdown after a big win.
You are, but I don't think this is the same Arkansas team that we've known the last 15 years.
Yeah.
I have not seen a team play with this kind of intensity, this level of passion since 1998, 1999.
Yeah.
But Zach, I want to say this right quick about Sam Pittman. You know, this coach come in, and rebuilt this team. And I've said, give him a few years, he's going to have Arkansas where they need to be, and that's exactly what he's doing. He proved a point. And Zach, you're right. He might be taking the playbook out of Nick Saban, taking it one game at a time, focusing on one game at a time.
Exactly. And the post game press conference, he said, a lot of people like me right now. I think a lot more people like me than don't like me, but we're going to lose some games this year, and that could change. He's right. Arkansas is a fickle fan base. And
Okay, out of the 8 remaining games we've got on our schedule, outside of Alabama, what are we going to lose if we continue to play at that level of intensity?
No, I totally agree.
Now, I'm not saying,
but he admitted. I mean, he said, I think he's just trying to keep his guys grounded. But he even said we're going to lose some games this year. He didn't say now that could be 1 or 2 games. I'm thinking more like 4 or 5. But anyway, I like that. I like that he said that.
well, did you also hear what he said about doing the horns down?
I didn't see that.
So I want to say it was Trey Biddy or Bob Holt out of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette said there's a lot of coaches, a lot of players out there doing the horns down. Have you had a chance to do it yet? And if you want to, do you want to do it right now? And he kind of sat up in his chair. He leaned towards the mic and he goes, I'm not going to do that. That's not my style. Anybody else that wants to do it can do it, but that's not my style. So that right there shows you
very humble guy.
class.
He credits all of his coaches. He never takes any of the credit.
No. Now, flip the script and let's talk about Steve Sarkisian for a minute.
Yeah.
Here's why. And here's why I want to bring him up. Here's why I want to bring him up. The man never took responsibility for Texas. He always kept. He never gave credit to Arkansas, and he never took responsibility for messing up. I think we lost him.
Thanks, guys.
We're back.
Wait a minute. Here we are. We're back.
Sorry, we had technical difficulties. I think we're back now.
Hey, it happens.
But hey, you talk about Steve Sarkisian. Let's talk about this. Steve Sarkisian in the middle of the game pulled his starting quarterback out. And
Yeah, what was that? We saw that too when we were talking about that in the stadium last night. What was the point of doing that? Was that
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When you do something like that, you are literally telling your starting quarterback that won the job, I have no confidence in you.
Well, as a Razorback fan, can you blame him? I mean,
I want to throw one thing out. We got to see a little bit. We got to see flashes of Malik Hornsby, didn't we?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about that dude. Holy crap, that dude's fast.
Yeah, he's faster than KJ.
Yeah,
I mean, way faster.
Well, if you remember.
Well, that's what they said. They said that he's more involved and more.
Now, KJ, man, I'll tell you what, though, he's got way more speed than I thought. He's got Cam Newton speed almost. I don't know. I mean, it might be close.
He's a lot bigger too.
He's a lot bigger.
At least it looks that way.
But I'm telling you now, Malik Hornsby, if you don't keep an eye on him, he'll beat you every time.
Yeah.
He'll beat you every time. And I expect if we play with the same level of intensity that we played with this week, if we played with the same level of intensity with Georgia Southern, I expect to see Malik Hornsby the majority of the second half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got a Bama fan on here. Let's talk a little bit about Alabama's performance yesterday, man.
I mean, it really wasn't
it's not shocking.
Shocking, yeah.
It's not shocking at all.
I will say this, we did lose another big player, which is Will Anderson on defense, but he's questionable for the Florida game coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, coming into this, it's like we've always said, Saban's got a plan.
Oh yeah.
And Saban, he takes one game at a time. I know a lot of people are trying to get him like, well, what do you think about Florida coming up? And he's like, no. I got Mercer this week. We need to focus on this first. Coming in on this upcoming game against Florida, and for all the viewers listening, if anybody watched the SEC championship last year,
oh yeah,
Dan Mullen came in. I mean, you got to understand they had Kyle Trask, Kyle Pitts, Tony. I mean.
Yeah.
Florida was stacked. Now this year,
yeah.
Florida does have a good quarterback that loves to scramble. He's a scrambling quarterback. So I think coming into this game against Florida, I think Saban's got a plan to stop
I think the East is interesting.
It,
You got Georgia. They've got a great defense.
yeah.
They're having quarterback problems. Not necessarily. I mean, JT Daniels didn't play this week because I think he was hurt. Stetson Bennett played.
Yeah.
You got Florida, who haven't really seen a whole lot out of them yet. And we saw Tennessee. To me, I wouldn't say that's a terrible loss. Tennessee's. Let's admit it. They got a ways to go.
Well, let's also. You want to talk about the East? I want to talk about the West too. The West. Let's talk about, and this could be a shocker to a lot of people. Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin has that offense at Ole Miss, and they are no huddle. I mean, heck.
Hey, hold on a second. We just got breaking news here from In the Lost Pizza Company studios.
What you got?
The new polls came out just a few moments ago, and Arkansas comes in at number 24, baby.
We're ranked in the top 25.
We are ranked in the top
Arkansas is now
25.
ranked number 24 in the top 25.
Dude, I love to see it.
Arkansas is number 24 now in the top 25 in the polls.
Hey, man, let's keep it that way, though. I don't want to be in the top 25 for a couple weeks and then fall out, which I don't think we will. Let's say we win next week, which we obviously should. We got an A&M team that's very big. We can start off 4-0. And then I believe we go to Georgia. And that's where it can start. That's where the schedule starts looking – it looks nasty.
Well, let's be honest. Georgia's got a defense.
Oh, yeah, man.
Offense, I have not been impressed. I've not been impressed by the offense at all.
Well, I'll tell you what, I agree. That could be a sneaky good game.
It might be.
I think Arkansas last night showed that they have the potential. I've already said this. Not win every game, but be in every game besides the Alabama and maybe the Georgia game for a half.
Right.
Now, will they – obviously, they're going to probably lose more than 2 games, obviously. I'm thinking more like – but I saw that they could possibly go 8-4. That's what I think.
Okay, now let me ask you this.
Maybe even 7-5.
8-4, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna throw a number out there, and it's gonna completely be off the wall. All right, but based on how they've played and the amount of improvement that they've gone from week 1 to week 2, 9-3 is not out of the realm of possibility.
It's not in the realm. No, it's not. But I'm gonna stay grounded here, and I'll say 8-4 looked possible last night. But
I mean, out of the SEC, you've got Alabama at 1, you got A&M at 5, you got Florida at 9, you got Ole Miss at 16. Ole Miss could give us fits. Ole Miss could give us fits this year. They're decent. You got Auburn at 20, and then you got us.
Well,
So-
here's my question. All right, y'all play A&M. Y'all got Texas A&M. Where y'all playing A&M at? Is it at College Station?
No, it's in Dallas. It's at Jerry's World.
Okay. I believe Arkansas can take out A&M easily, especially since they lost their starting quarterback. I think that A&M hasn't been tested yet. I mean, Colorado did put them up to a good game.
But how much is that?
Exactly.
Now, here's the question on that one, though, Nate. If A&M's starting quarterback doesn't go down, is it as close as it was last night?
Probably not. But the thing is, A&M's defense rose to the occasion. So they proved that defensively they can get it done if they need to.
True.
That kind of scares me a little bit, because that's going to be a tough defense.
But look at our defense at the same time.
Our defense did play well, and I haven't given us near enough love, honestly. Maybe I have to some people, but I feel like I'm staying pretty neutral about the game last night. I mean, I have this mentality of on to the next week. Like, I'll enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Texas all through last night, and I'll probably enjoy the rest of the day, maybe even into the week. But once you get to start getting the game day, you kind of shift it out of your head, and we'll start looking for Georgia Southern, which can't overlook them. And then we got A&M. A&M's going to be a huge game.
Yeah.
We haven't beat those guys in 9 years.
Well, Arkansas since joining the SEC is 5-2 or 4-2 against Texas. And somebody asked me last night, who doesn't watch football, asked me last night, why are they rushing the field? It's like they just won the national championship.
It's a big rivalry.
Here's the thing. To us Arkansas fans, anytime we get a chance to beat Texas, that is our national championship.
Oh,
That is the game. if we don't win another game, hey, we beat Texas. All right. And for the people that were in that stadium, the 80,000 people. I know the announced attendance was 76 and change, but there was 80,000 people in that stadium, hands down. For those that were there, and myself included, we can say we saw Texas go down against Arkansas.
Yeah.
You've heard about it in like
It'll be a
the
fun, I think it's going to be a fun season.
Well,
It's going to be fun.
I want to say this right now. If y'all had to pick a sleeper team in the SEC right now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you who mine is. Mine's Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Don't nobody look Ole Miss, but that's my sleeper right now in the SEC.
Ole Miss presents our defense fits. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a scheme or what they present a lot of defenses fits.
You know, I'm not gonna
But I
say
still think of it as a winnable game, but I wouldn't favor us in it by any means, but it's
No.
very winnable.
I'm gonna be real with you. I am. I'm gonna be real with you. I think it's Arkansas.
Okay.
That's good.
I think it's not because I'm a homer, and it's not because we beat Texas, we're back. No, I think the majority of the SEC is not thinking that Arkansas. I think they think that Arkansas's win last night was just a flash in the pan, and they're going to underestimate
Let's
us.
give him more credit. Nathan had the most confidence in the Hogs, and that made him look good.
And the thing is, like, I mean, as everybody knows, as viewers, I'm a diehard Alabama fan.
Yeah.
But I told y'all, I have faith in this Arkansas team because of Sam Pittman.
Yep.
He is
He's the guy.
Yeah,
Well,
he's,
you know,
The only guy that wanted the job. The only guy that wanted the job.
As I was watching all these teams go down yesterday, the only thing I can think of was, damn, I'm going to have to catch Nate even more in our rankings come Thursday night when we do our pick'em show.
You want to hop on? You want to hop on?
hey, switch me.
I know Nathan's been here a while. We got someone coming on the show here.
Who we
I
got?
think you're going to want to talk to him.
Who we got?
He picked Texas too.
Oh, crap, it's the boss man. All right, I got to. What's up, boss man?
We'll take it a little easy on him, but he did pick him by 40, and
He's also. Hey, I'm gonna give you a little hint. I'm gonna give you a little hint into the pick'em show this week. Wes is in last place.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's okay. Man, Zach,
I was wrong about that game.
I'm looking at. I know you've already talked about the Arkansas game. I was eating, but I mean, it was shocking. But really, what I enjoyed the most was listening to Sam Pittman and listening just to how proud he was for that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't about him. It was about the state of Arkansas.
Yeah.
It was about the players. And that's what really stuck out to me the most is it's not about Pittman. It's not about Sam.
No, he's not
he's doing it for the
He
state.
wants it for the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a cliche kind of guy, and it's not all about. It's not who you're. It's not about who you're playing for in the front or back or whatever is on the jersey, whatever. I got to meet him. I guess it's been about 2 months now, maybe 3. And he's not doing it for the championships. He's not doing it for the money. He's not doing it for the trophies. He's doing it for every single person that lives in this state. He's doing it for every single person across the world that call themselves an Arkansas Razorback fan. That's why he does what he does.
Oh, I agree.
I really agree.
Now we got some people commenting. I apologize. We have not been doing very well at keeping up with it. Joshua Gage.
Josh Wilbeck said over 76 plus.
Yeah.
Where at the game? Yeah.
Josh Wilbeck said it was hard to hear the announcer on TV even. Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Thank you, Will Banks, for reminding me of that. But check this out. Joe Tessitore at one point came on, and I believe he said that you could feel Razorback Stadium shaking.
Wow. Now
That was not a lie.
can you imagine if game day was there?
Oh, I think they're regretting it right now.
I mean, I know SEC Nation was there, that's almost like game day. I know.
The coolest part about SEC Nation, and I didn't catch it live because we were headed up. We were on Interstate 40, watching the SEC Nation from Fayetteville. Paul Feinbaum is the biggest Alabama butt kisser I've ever met.
Yeah. Well, he lives there, but yeah, you can't really
Yeah.
do that. You can't do that when you're representing.
Look,
I
man,
saw
all
Tebow
my
pick.
videos
I
are
saw
shocking.
Tebow pick Florida, or I saw Tebow pick Texas.
Everybody
Everybody
on
else,
the team
Roman
picked
Harper, and everybody, Justin Moore, everybody picked Arkansas. Then it was Paul's turn. And he walks over to the uniform and he says, I grew up in Memphis as a Razorback fan. Walks over to Texas at uniform, and I thought, here we go. We're going to hear it. He takes the helmet off of the mannequin, walks about halfway, looks at the crowd, looks back at the helmet, and just chucks the damn thing into the crowd and
Oh,
picks
that's
Arkansas.
That is awesome. I wish I could have seen that. But no, nobody on College Game Day picked Texas, and I think I picked Arkansas. Everyone picked Texas. Myself
Can
included.
you based on history? Can you blame them?
It was based on week one. It was all based on week one, and we didn't look very good week one.
And now look
But-
at us, we're a top 25 team.
But I think week two is
It's so crazy.
I think the week two Arkansas is closer to the team that we are. You know, week one, I'm not going to say Rice didn't present some problems for us. They obviously did, but I think there's a lot that goes into why we didn't play well that week one.
Well, but at the same time, Christian, we don't know the identity from this team from 1 week to the next. They say the biggest improvement in a college football team is from week 1 to week 2.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I was a voter, all right, and I had to give the award out to most improved team in the country, it would hands down be the Arkansas Razorbacks. Not because I'm a homer, not because of it. It is because the way they looked in game 1 is not anywhere close how they looked in game 2.
And
Hands
that
down,
improved Florida
most
State.
improved, hands down, most improved team in the country, Arkansas. Period.
And that goes the opposite way with Florida State. I mean, not to change subjects. I'm just saying how from week 1 to week 2, you really see the true identity of a team.
Where do you see what? And staying with Florida State, where do you see the struggles at? I didn't get to catch that game, but it's Florida
I didn't get
State.
to watch it either. I just saw the final score. That's all.
Wes, did you see it at all?
What's that?
The Florida State game.
No, I was in the press box.
I probably would have fell asleep.
I pulled it up here and there, just kind of keep an eye on the score. Now I did see the way it ended, and I did see Jacksonville State plant the flag.
Yeah.
Then I also saw a stat this morning that said that Willie Taggart was fired after 2 seasons after going 9-21 at Florida State.
9-12.
And it was 9-21.
Oh wow.
And
That's how bad.
So how long does the Seminole Nation
well, that's
give
what I was
Mike
getting-
Norvell?
Well, that's what I was getting to is Mike Norvell will have to go 6-4 this season to not end at 9-21. He has to go 6-4. I think if he doesn't go 6-4, he's fired.
Yeah.
He's fired.
Really? After one season?
Two seasons. The Florida State fan base does not have a leash for any coach. None. But if I'm the Florida State fan base, you have to give him time. You have to give him time. And I think you're exactly right. Brandon in the background just said,
I was gonna say, what's Baum over there saying?
well, I was just going to say, he just hauled out Deion Sanders from Florida State. I think he's 100% right.
I
I
think
think Deion's got more to prove.
I think Deion's got more to prove. I don't think he's ready for D1.
His name alone is not going to get him the job at Florida State. I don't think.
Why would it not? It almost got him the job.
Not even the Aflac commercials are going to get him.
Because he's at Jackson State, which that's a huge jump.
Yeah.
From Jackson State to Florida State,
Oh, I agree.
that's a massive.
Hey
jump.
guys, I'm gonna ask an NFL question. How do you think Urban Meyer's going to do in his season opener with the Jacksonville Jaguars?
They're down pretty big right now to Houston. I do know that. I believe it's 27-7.
Yeah, we haven't really got to talk much NFL today,
But I think they'll give it. They will give him time. You have to give him time. Really, and truly, you have to give him time. I don't think Florida State will give Michael Johnson. Does he deserve it? Yeah, he does. Is he going to get it? Probably not.
we talked a little bit about it earlier. Me and you were at the Memphis Arkansas State game. We covered it. It was a great experience. I want to hear your thoughts on the experience and the game. What you saw out of Memphis, what impressed you, what didn't impress you, things like that.
Yeah. And Brandon and I are going to dive really deep into this game shortly when we get on the point.
Yeah, well,
But as far as I'll go game.
yeah, don't give too much.
I'll go game play
Don't give
first.
too much. Yeah.
Gameplay wise last night, if you're the Memphis Tigers, you've got to shore up that defense, and you've got to do it immediately.
Yeah.
And you've also got to be pretty daggone decided to then start James Black. Because I think if you start James Black for last night,
Arkansas State. Yeah.
yeah, if Butch Jones throws James Black right there, I think that's a completely different game. I don't think Tigers come out on top. And as a Tiger fan, I hate saying that. It's Arkansas State. But the crowd was I mean, from what I saw, I mean, from my vantage point, it looked pretty good. But as far as the experience, as far as being on the press box and all that, it was Class A. Everybody was super nice. I mean, it's really a big family up there. We really get down to it. I mean, we're all working press. So for example, you know how on the ESPN app, when you're watching the game, it'll say ball snap, run right. There's a woman up there actually in the box with binoculars on ball snap, run right two. You know, she's literally exactly what they put on there. There's a woman doing that. It's so
Yeah.
cool. I love it.
On one hand, I'd love to have that job, but on the other hand, I wouldn't want to have that job.
Yeah, it got kind of.
She was stressed, man. Like, I mean,
She was like, yeah, real irritated.
well, because whatever she says, that's what they're putting immediately. Like, there's no, oh, just kidding. You know, you can't. It doesn't work like that. As far as the experience, the medium side of it, I loved it. It was an absolute dream come true at the very beginning. We got a lot more to do. That's for dang sure. I will actually be right back here in Memphis next weekend for the Memphis versus Mississippi State game. It's going to be a big game for Memphis. Like I said, as far as the game's concerned last night, I think Sam Heston looked great. True freshman quarterback out of Texas. Looked poised, looked ready for the game. And I mean, let's be honest, Nichols is not as good as Arkansas State, and he was ready for the challenge, and he played well. He played really well. When you look at the Memphis team, though, I think the biggest weapon is a weapon that we didn't see coming, and that's the running attack.
I saw it coming.
We had three guys again last night that ran. I mean, Brandon, the freshman running back last night, had 18 carries for 247 yards.
Leading rusher in the country.
Yeah, he is now the leading rusher in the country.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So he has the most rushing yards.
So you're gonna try to make a case for him to become the Heisman winner?
We've done that before with.
We can't let. Tell him a moment last night about how his dad keeps him grounded.
Yeah. So last night we all hung out, met the team
After the game,
and talked with all the players. You know, as they came out. It was very, very, very cool experience. I hadn't done that in a long time. And it was cool to do it as an adult, but it was even more cool to do it as a media member because they knew you're a medium, you know, they kind of really talk to you in a sense. But Stephen didn't comes out last night. We all talked to him, you know, great game. And a buddy of mine hollered out, Hennigan for Heisman.
Oh,
And
there it is.
And his dad just immediately looked at him and said, "Keep your head down." I mean, immediately, no delay.
Like, don't listen to those guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was basically one of those things saying, hey, you may have that height, but stay in your grind. You know, do what you know how to do. Keep your head down, keep working. And I mean,
And I think
great.
Wes,
Bryce Young's winning the Heisman.
Yeah, no, I think, and Wes is right. You know, one of the things that I think hurts players is when they start having that hype and they start hearing their name coincide with the Heisman. That's when you kind of see them fall off the rail a little bit. You know.
Sorry, we had some background noise.
Oh no, you're fine. But that's kind of when you see players kind of start going, okay, fine, I'm gonna go Heisman. I'm gonna try to ball all out. And that's kind of when you see them trip up. That's kind of when you start seeing them stumble.
Yeah.
If most players keep their head to the ground and keep their head down and keep their feet on the ground and they just focus.
Well, Zach, do you have anything else to add? We've been going almost an hour here.
Man.
We've had a lot of fun.
You know me. Wes knows me. I can talk about my Hogs all day. I can talk about football all day long. So I know they got the point coming up. I'm excited to hang out with them and see it. So all I got to say is, man, Razorback Nation, soak in this win, but don't let it soak too long because we are just getting started. Go Hogs. We beat Texas.
Yep.
Let's go.
Heck yeah, Zach. Go Hogs, man.
Go Hogs, brother.
That's all I can say about it. Go Hogs. I can say it with pride now. But
it's not an embarrassment. It's not an embarrassment getting to walk around with Razorback stuff on right now.
Was it ever?
2 years ago. 2 years ago? Yes.
Not embarrassing to wear it in the state.
No, not by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what I was saying. I mean, maybe in your mind it was embarrassing, but I think on a national landscape, yes.
It's embarrassing because you know where Arkansas should be.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
And you saw where they were.
on a national landscape.
Yeah.
It's still Arkansas.
Well, yeah,
Still the best team.
but that's why it was embarrassing when we were so bad.
Yeah.
But now
here's the final note that we'll get out of here. I don't want this ranking to go to these players' heads
Me either.
because to me, that ranking right now doesn't mean crap.
And we've seen it. No, it doesn't. Until we play A&M, that's going to be a test.
That's going to be the key.
That's
But
going to show us a lot about this
tone.
team.
Yeah, this kind of sets the tone as to where this season's going to go.
Yeah, it really does.
I agree.
But yeah, we're going to wrap it up. We're here at SideCar Cafe. Thanks so much, guys, for listening. I'm Christian Johnston here with Razorback Zach on Inside the Hog Pen, giving us some inside information. Sort of, he was there at enemy line. Well, not enemy lines. He was there at Donald W. Reynolds Stadium.
And I will have more in-depth coverage of what I saw, what I heard, what it felt like. Friday night, 7 p.m. on a new episode of Inside the Hog Pen.
Yep.
That is if I have a voice.
Too.
Do what?
Wes Pruitt has been with me. I've had Nathan Wilson on for a while. We got The Point coming up next, so be sure y'all tune into that. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Stay tuned because we've got more coming.
Go Hogs.
Go Hogs.